Hi, welcome to Community Connection. I'm your host, Sarah Clark, and today with me I have Vanessa Patterson, Executive Director of the Foundation for City College, and Board President Neil Kreisel. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sarah. And thank you, Cox, for your support, your interest. Without everything that you've done for us, we probably would not have succeeded with our campaign for student success. We raised $1 million in 6 weeks.
Wow, well,
yeah, thank you.
Oh, well, we are so excited to be a part of such a wonderful foundation and organization that is such a vibrant and integral part of our community. So thanks for all your hard work. And for our viewers out there that don't know much about the Foundation for City College, I'd love to hear more about what the Foundation's role is at City College.
We try to make the difference between just attending school and succeeding. So many of the people that go through all of the community colleges, and for that matter, all of the colleges in this country, are really not prepared. They're not prepared emotionally, they're not prepared financially, and they're certainly not prepared academically. So just getting the opportunity to go to school isn't good enough. So we provide tutoring. We provide tutoring before school begins, during school, childcare, book grants, scholarships, all the things that in the past families did. But today, with so many economic problems and so many, quite frankly, dysfunctional families, we step in and make the difference.
Wonderful. So that's obviously a very important support structure for the City College.
And it's an important element in our society and our community. We have over 20,000 degree students plus 18,000 adult students. And without our support, so many of these students would have been in a position to fail, which would cause the community to have less of a vibrant economic environment, which we are blessed to have.
Absolutely. And Neil, this is your 4th year of being the board president.
Yes.
I'd love to hear your story of how and why you got involved in the foundation.
Well, I came here 14 years ago. Today, actually. This is my anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
And I know this is a big surprise, but I'm from New York.
You would never know with that accent.
And I had retired, and I became not only bored, but boring. And so I decided to start teaching. I started teaching in the finance department at City College, and my first semester I was disappointed because I didn't feel I had done an adequate job, because only 2 or 3 students, I thought, really got something out of it. And that's part of the problem. Teaching is, by the way, much more difficult than I imagined. And I spoke to my department head, and he said, if you touch 1 or 2 lives, it really is worth it. The next semester, I had my midterm, and there was a 22, 23-year-old, with a baseball hat on backwards that always sat in the back, didn't say anything. So when I gave the midterm, after 5 minutes, he got up, threw it on my desk, and walked out. So I looked at it, and he didn't answer anything. So I left the kids to hopefully not cheat, and I ran outside, and I said, what happened? He said, I don't know anything. I said, sure you do, sit down. So I gave him the test orally on the steps of the school, and he got a B. The next week, he went through class, not saying a word, baseball hat on backwards, but at the end of class, he came over to me with his eyes down, and he said, thank you. So I realized, I know I'm the quintessential cynical New Yorker. It really changed my whole view. And the bottom line for me, and the bottom line for anyone that is involved with City College, is that you are really, really saving people's lives.
Right, it's an investment in their future, not just
in their future and our community's future.
Absolutely. Well, that's a great story, and I'm glad that you're involved. Tell us about some of the exciting milestones and achievements of the foundation.
Well, I have to say, in our history, since 1976, we've raised over $110 million now in our history to support the college. And we support the students, and we also support the programs and the critical programs that make the difference in a student's career path and in their life. And that generosity from our community has really gone a long way. This year, because of the help that we're receiving from our generous community, we're able to help thousands of students get access to tutoring, to book grants, to scholarships, internships, Over 1,000 students are going to be receiving some award or scholarship to help them with their tuition and their studies. And this is really what we do every year, year in, year out. And it's a wonderful mission. It's just an incredible, rich history of committed individuals that are making a difference in the lives of our students and also our economy and our local community as a whole.
One of the more exciting things about the last 2 years under Vanessa's leadership is that we've gone from a very successful foundation with 800 or 900 donors. This year we've increased our donor base by 5,000.
Wow.
Which is really impressive. You know, the name of our campaign was called Show Us Your Love, and the idea behind it was everybody, which I think is true, loves Santa Barbara City College. How can you not? And it touches almost everybody in Santa Barbara. But very few people gave. People believed it was supported by the state. And to some extent, it is supported by the state. To a lot of extent, it's supported by the state. But it doesn't make that difference. We need to make that difference between just going to school and succeeding. And so we needed to convince people. And what we've been doing with Cox's help is convincing people that this is a place that their money is really going to pay off, both in terms of people and in terms of our community.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on the success of the campaign. We're thrilled with it as well. And I'd love to tell our viewers a little bit more about the programs that you offer and how students find these programs.
Well, and that's such a great question. I mean, we have 28,000 individual students throughout a year. And we help students that are currently still in high school actually get ready to be in college and successful in college. But where we really have a unique niche, and I think this is reflected, recently we received an honor and the distinction of being the #1 community college in the United States as named by the Aspen Institute Award. And one of the things that they cite are our student success programs. A great student success example is our Running Start program. And what that program does is it goes into the high school and identifies students that have the capacity to be successful in college, but never thought they could ever get there. And one of the students that I've had the privilege of working with, actually she works in the foundation office part-time while she's in school these past 2 years, always wanted to do something great. She wanted to be a doctor, she wanted to be a businesswoman, but she never thought she'd ever get to go to college. It just wasn't part of what anyone talked about with her. And when the Running Start program approached her and said, you can do this, they brought her into a summer program. They gave her all the tools. She took actual college courses, was successful in those college courses, made bonds and friendships with other students that were going to be going to school, and entered the doors of Santa Barbara City College on day one, prepared and ready. She knew where the tutoring office was. She knew about the peer program, the book grants. She knew how to navigate the system. And here she is. She's well on her way, studying biology, statistics, and I think some other course right now in math, and is just really successful. And it's because of these student success initiatives that are supported by the foundation.
Well, it sounds like I love that story. It sounds like it's not just showing them the way and talking about it, but giving them that extra boost of confidence and encouragement that we're here to help. We support you and you can do it. And sometimes it just takes that one voice to help somebody know that they can do it too.
Absolutely. Well, and one of the things that I think is really unique about our student success programs is that after a student goes through the program, they're asked to be peer tutors and peer advisors. And so, that first year taking chemistry, she was really struggling with that. I mean, I struggled with chemistry, so I can honestly say it doesn't surprise me that anyone struggles with chemistry. But it was the peer tutor that made the difference and said, you know what, you can do this. And you need to learn this. And you can retake it if you need to get it. But you can be successful in chemistry. And that's the type of support that we provide, is that fostering that type of relationship where they can make those connections.
And one of the reasons that Santa Barbara City College is such an extraordinary institution is that we have terrific teachers. And one of our board members, Vicki Sims, through her Sims Man Foundation, has begun a program to provide stipends for teachers so they can expand their education, in this first instance, early childcare. So what we're doing is not only helping the students, but we're trying to provide a way of helping our teachers not only gain an edge, but also to reward them for all of the hard work for the underpaid salaries that they're getting.
Right. And now, so tell me why Santa Barbara City College is so important to our community.
Well, first of all, there is not one person I've met, it's a little exaggeration, but not much, that cannot tell you a story about City College. Their son, their wife, their husband, their kids, their neighbor, everyone has gone to Santa Barbara City College.
Yes, me too.
Everybody's gone there. But two, it provides the basis for our economic vitality, and it also provides an energy for the community. You know, when I came from New York, the odds were that I'd last here 6 weeks. All my New York friends said, "You're going to Santa Barbara? First of all, where is it? And second of all, what are you going to do there?" Well, part of the charm of Santa Barbara is this intellectual energy, these young people here. Plus, we make them job ready. There was a report in the New York Times last year about a community in Ohio that has a community college, and because they trained their students, they watched how jobs increased, how employers came to this town in Ohio, and it was dramatic. And one of the things that we're trying to convince people, if you train them, they will come. That is, the businesses will come. And if you look at some of the biggest businesses, which we have done, and we've gone to CEOs of companies in this town, what's your biggest problem? Well, it's not the weather. It's they don't have enough good, well-trained employees. So we're providing employees, whether at Cottage Hospital or whether it be at some of the technology companies.
And I think that's such an important statement, is that 26% of the students at Santa Barbara City College have been in school before, but they need to come back to school to get the training they need to be successful in their career. And a great example is that we have a student right now studying in the auto mechanic program, and he's worked in an auto mechanic shop his entire life. After graduating, he had a 2-year certificate program, and he's been successful in the auto mechanic field. He now wants to open up his own business, and he wants to specialize in hybrid and electronic vehicles. And what's unique about City College, in fact, we have the world's premier hybrid specialist at our campus. He tours all over the world, and he's able to teach the student what they need to know to be able to embark in that industry, a growing industry, and that student's simultaneously taking business classes with our Scheinfeld Entrepreneurship Program, training them on how to open his own business. Because moving from that role, you don't necessarily know how to set up your own balance sheet, how to budget, how to hire people, how to navigate that entire complex world. And that is what the student is back at Santa Barbara City College doing. And the plan is to stay local, open that shop, hire local people, and really add value to our
Send them back to Santa
community.
Barbara City College.
Send them all back to City College.
Well, thank you so much for coming today. Thank you for your passion and enthusiasm and sharing with the community why Santa Barbara City College is important and the foundation for Santa Barbara City College. And if you want to find out how you can get involved and support the Foundation for City College, please visit the Cox 8 website or your website, and
SBCCfoundation.org. I have to give that plug.
And thanks again for sharing everything and for coming on the show.
Well, truly, Sarah, thank you so much. Cox is such a loyal supporter and our premier supporter for the campaign. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching Community Connection. We'll see you next time.